more or less know everything to say. And I was kind of explaining this to you guys the other day, but we're going to do a whole training on it. Where like I can say the right things in the wrong way, just like I can like, hey, here you go, Lamont, take care of that for me. Compared to, here you go, Lamont, take care of that for me. You know what I mean? And it's like the delivery of stuff is very important. And so we're going to kind of break up into some pairs, and I'm going to give you a couple lines to use. And we're going to focus more on the two bits that I think we're losing a lot of people, which is transitioning into the home and closing, or billing, something like that. Maybe price drop as well. And I'm just going to share a couple of lines that I use, and I'm really going to focus on like enunciating and pauses, and you can just kind of almost copy it, paste, like piece of piece, like okay, Nate pauses here, and he says this, and then I just want you guys to practice it and change your voice inflection, because you guys can totally do that.
Why is it important that we do that?
So it helps keep the customer engaged, and it enables you to convey a lot more emotion in your voice. And if you can kind of like get emotion across to the customer, there's going to be more validity behind what you say. Because if you're kind of just spitting out the lines, one, you're hoping they're listening, which is not always the case. And two, you're basically hoping for a laydown if you can't convey the emotion that you're trying to convey. And that they just trust you innately. But they're not going to trust you innately. And it doesn't enable you to like push any buying power onto the customer if you can't use your words properly. Because we can all say the right words, like Dan always says, like we can teach a parrot to say the lines, but obviously the parrot is not being able to convey the type of emotion we're trying to convey. Alright, so I'm going to do a couple that I like to use for getting into the home, and I'll show you guys right here. Lamont, if you want to be my custody. And then we're just going to practice it. And I want you guys to pair up with a vet, a rookie and a vet, and I just want the rookies to practice their lines with the vet, okay? And vets, I want you to be brutally honest, like that sucks, do it again, try this, stop there, and just like make them work really hard for the lines, okay? So if I was transitioning with Lamont, usually I'm waiting for a buying question, something like, well, how much does it cost, or what's the catch, or how many cameras do I get, or what do the cameras do, or literally him asking me any question. And then, usually something positive, like, yeah, that's actually the best part. I'll pause, I'll look at him, I'll smile. So I look down at the iPad, like tap it or do something to kind of disrupt him. Like I intentionally do this, like I'll be like that, he'll look down, and then that enables me to like look up it. So if I do this, and then he looks down, and then I'm already looking up, I'm confident. So I go, boom, he looks down, and then before he looks up, I'm looking at him. Yeah, that's actually the best part. We actually get to cover the whole thing. I'll kind of show you how it works. It's just really hot out here. Do you mind if there's somewhere we could set this down real quick?
What does the bad version of that sound like?
Yeah,
how much does it cost?
Yeah, it's the best part. Can I sit down real quick? I was doing it good then too.
Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah, so like that's the best part. Like I can show you how it works real quick.
Yeah, I'll show you on the house. Yeah, can I take a look at the house, or I'll show you how the door sensors work? I'll show you how it works real quick. It's my favorite part of the whole thing. Is there somewhere I could set this down with you real quick?
Yeah, we can set it right.
And just let your voice taper off at the end. Is there somewhere I can set this down with you real quick? Real quick. Yeah. So right at the end, just like super non-threatening. Is there somewhere I can set this down with you real quick? Okay. Good. And then like I'll kind of like just lean back a little bit too. Like I'm kind of like, hey, is there somewhere I can set this down with you real quick? And then like I'll look at them. Like I'm asking them a question, and they're like, yeah, come on.
And I think like your body language is big as well. You're not like, hey, is there anywhere I can set this down real quick?
Yeah, like this, or crossed, or like hands, or like rigid, or like stiff. Like I'm like just like usually I'll be like leaning back, and I'm like, yeah, that's actually my favorite part. Is there somewhere I could set this down real quick? It's kind of hot out here. Okay, cool. So practice that, or whatever transition you like to use. Let's kind of just give maybe one other transition, like another one that we kind of teach you guys on. Is like, I can show you how this works on your home. We normally start on the doors. Have you guys got a slide door, a swing door, kind of like a French door?
Yeah, it's like a French door.
I can show you real quick, and I'll just walk in. I kind of don't like that because I always want them to invite me in. That's kind of how I usually do it. But if you guys are good at getting into the home that way, just like, yeah, I can show you how it works real quick. Are you guys are shoes on or shoes off that house?
Start taking shoes off.
Cool. And then that's how I normally, because I want them to answer me before I go into the house. Do you know what I mean? I want them to give me like a yes, come in before I go into the house. So I'll ask them like, are your shoes on? Do you mind if I have a look at the old system? Is there somewhere I can set this down? And I'm waiting for them to tell me yes, and they go, okay, cool, no problems. And then there's zero tension when I walk into the house. There's no awkwardness when I walk in there. I'm not standing there like, oh, can we sit down at the table or whatever? Like they've already said yes to me coming in. But yeah, like I'll show you how it goes. Have you guys used something like this before? Okay, and then I'll walk them through. So let's practice the lines. Everyone get with a vet. And then practice your tonality, slowing down your sentences at the end, getting rid of the arms. We got to practice this line well at least 10 times before we go on to the next one, okay? So practice your line 10 times. You have to get 10 green lines.